Cast presented. The Manja Cast presented by FanDuel. Bob Papa, Chris Bizignano. Halftime. Cowboys and Eagles. Woo! I don't have my chin glass.
Yeah, I forgot. I got to get it here. But Papa, I'll get my chin glass. But chin, my friend, and what a first half that was.
No punts, no stops, touchdowns galore.
Spitting going on.
Let's get into that right out of the gate. You get the opening kickoff. The guy in Philadelphia gets hurt. Jalen Carter's talking some smack to Dak Prescott while they're attending to his injured teammate, and he spits on Dak.
He's crazy.
I'll tell you what. Chris Collinsworth said it best on the broadcast. If Philadelphia loses, Jalen Carter basically spit on his own team,
right,
by doing that.
Yep.
I mean, the NFL has been pretty adamant about, what's happening as far as personal conduct is concerned. Everybody's been warned. The officials visit with the teams throughout the course of preseason and training camp. They said that it was going to be an issue and that there was going to be enforced. We saw Nolan Smith get called for a penalty for taunting the running back.
Yep.
Can't do it. I mean, look, Jalen Carter was the best player in the 2023 draft, and everyone was surprised that he went ninth. Why did he go ninth? Well, yeah, teams needed quarterbacks, A. But B, he had some character issues off the field. And, some of those veterans are gone now. Brandon Graham's not there. Some of the other reliable guys that have been there to rein it in. And, I mean, whether Philadelphia wins or loses this game, obviously if they lose, it's going to be a big story. But this is going to have to get addressed right away. You just cannot do that.
Yeah, it'd be interesting how Sirianni handles this. And right away, Bob, you saw what Dallas did. They were running the ball right at where he would have been. And look, the first half comes down to nobody stopped anybody. This looks like a game's going to come down to who has the ball last. It's 21-20. And Bob, you look at the Cowboys, and they that first half kind of like reflects what I thought they were going to be this year. They're going to score points, but the question is going to be, can Matt Eberflus's defense stop people? And I got to be honest with you, Bob. We talked a little bit before we came on the air. What the hell was Matt Eberflus's game plan in the first half? And before we started texting, before we started, I'm listening to the radio on Sirius, and the same thing was like, what is Eberflus doing? I mean, it looks like he has no plan for Jalen Hurts and no plan for this. They're in that soft zone. Jalen says, okay, hey, Dallas, they're going to sit in that soft zone. We're going to hit you, boom, boom, boom. They got no accountability for Jalen Hurts. He's just making big play after big play. Now, in the last series, it looked like they had Damone Clark kind of mirror him a little bit. That didn't really work out. So it's going to be interesting what Eberflus adjusts, what he does in his second half to try to slow down the Eagles. 3 possessions, 3 touchdowns. Now, on the other side of the ball, same thing. Eagles, right? They couldn't stop Dallas either. The only difference is Dallas had to kick a field goal on one drive.
Listen. I'm not going to lay it all on Eberflus in the sense that there was the one run Jalen Hurts had up the middle where Dallas played it perfectly. He just made a better play than they are. He's just a better player than the Cowboy guys because he kind of slithered through. But it looked like they had no plan for Shipley when he came in the game. He's still open. But I think if you're Dallas, you got to be pumped right now.
Oh, absolutely.
You got to be pumped. And I think, listen, you and I were texting. I was texting with my Sirius NFL radio teammates for tomorrow morning show that I'm going to be hosting with Matt Sims, our producer at Sirius. Lexi Soluro is a big Giant fan. What were they thinking that Adoree Jackson can hold up? I mean, we've watched. Well, love Adoree, great guy, great personality. but we've seen his game deteriorate with the Giants. And,
Mhm.
it's not like Dallas hasn't played against Adoree Jackson the last couple of years. They were just looking for wherever he was on the field, and it's like, all right, throw it to me.
Oh, it was obvious Dak was targeting him in the first half. And Adoree, look, what we saw from Adoree in the first half is what we saw the last few years with the Giants. Getting beat and then penalties, right? He had the penalty in the end zone. He was getting beat by CD Lamb. Look, we were texting before, like I talked about before, a little while ago. Howie Roseman was one of the best GMs in football, but I don't quite know what he was thinking here going into the season with Adoree Jackson was one of his corners. I really don't. Like, what was he looking at to say, you know what, let's bring Adoree over here?
Yeah, I mean, he's really struggled in this first half. We want to thank everybody for jumping on. Thank our friends at FanDuel. We are live. This is how this thing started. It started AFC and NFC Championship weekend, Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
We decided to go live. Now we're part of the Believe family. We're happy to be there. A couple of our viewers wanted to know, can he be suspended for that? Hey, listen, anytime you get kicked out of a game, he's going to get fined heavily. I don't know if the league will suspend him, but he's going to get a big-time fine. Obviously, he was ejected from the game, but man,
stupid, man, stupid.
Hey, one of our people watching, Rich Savner, said, "Hey, when you guys first did this show that day, remember Charlie Weiss jumped on the show during the AFC Championship game, and he was the one that started talking up Jackson Dart way back when." Good memory, Rich. Good memory. That's right. Coach Weiss talked up Jackson Dart, who will be the backup for the Giants on Sunday in Washington. I think if you're the Dallas Cowboys right now, considering the Micah Parsons trade and the effects of all that other stuff, I think I'm sure in the defensive room they're not pleased, but I think if you're a Cowboys fan going toe-to-toe with Philadelphia, not having Micah Parsons, you have to feel pretty fired up about your team right now.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, their offenses look really good. Dak has looked really good. They've run the ball a little bit. CD and Pickens, look, great trade for them getting George Pickens. And what did he do? He got down the field, drew a penalty there, made another play. And Bob, so look at the Eagles, man. One of the keys of their success, right, the last 3, 4, 5, 7 years is they're so deep up front, defensive line. Well, you look at them now, right? Milton Williams took his services to New England. Brandon Graham retires, right? Fletcher Cox retires 2 years ago. I mean, they're not deep.
Sweat's not there.
Josh Sweat took his services to my team that's I picking to win the West, Arizona. Okay? I mean, you look at them, and we'll get into that. Pop's smiling because I know why Bob's smiling, because we'll talk about that in a little bit. But you look at them up front now, and it's not deep. This is what Howie has built his teams on, as having a deep defensive line that can rotate 7, 8 guys in. Well, guess what? They don't have that this year. And I think you saw it a little bit in the first half already. That, the Eagles are going to win a lot of games, and they're going to score points, but are they going to be as good under, with Vic Fangio's defense this season as they have in the past? Hey, look, Bob, Sweat's a big loss. Sweat was a big loss, man. Milton Williams
was a big loss.
Was a big, big loss. Brandon Graham, even though, 15 years in the league, still could get to the quarterback a little bit. Not to mention his leadership. Big loss. The Eagles have suffered some big hits up front. And then you got Jalen Carter coming out off the sideline, spitting on Dak, and he's done for the night about 2 seconds in the game. And you say to yourself, whoa, hey, Dallas is in this damn game. They're moving the ball. They can win this. They could come in Philly and steal this game.
I see Eric Weinberger's on here. The big cheese.
Eric, the big
He loves
boss.
your summer tan. Still got your summer tan.
Eric, all it takes is 18 holes, and I'm all tanned up instantly. I was out there a couple of days ago in the sun, and boom. That's all it takes. That's Sicilian blood, Eric. I'm in the sun for an hour, and boom. I don't have to be in Florida like some other people I know. I don't have to live in Florida. All right? Right up here, Huntington County, New Jersey, Eric. I'm in the sun. boom. Some other people down there in Ponte Verde, whatever the hell they are, and boom. You know what I mean? So that's all it takes.
Joey Z wants to know when my next recipe is. Look, this was, we knew we weren't coming on until halftime. A little busy today, prepping for the game on Sunday, getting ahead on my Cowboy work. So I figured we'll temper on the cooking tonight.
Wait a minute. Tell the people what you mean by that. Getting ahead on your Cowboy work. Right now they're saying, Bob, voice of the Giants, they're playing Washington Sunday. What are you talking about? Explain.
I'm always a week ahead.
I know what you're talking about, but explain to the people, man.
I'm always a week ahead, Biz.
Pop,
I'm always a week ahead.
You don't have to explain to me. You explain
to
what your people.
Here, I got all my Washington stuff is done. Right? That's all done. But now I'm already on to the Cowboys. I'm on to the Cowboys. I like to stay ahead.
So what Bob means by that, everybody, is that he's usually a week ahead in the depth chart. He's all over the Cowboys roster. Of course, he'll need my help during the week. He'll screw up a few times. I'll help him out. I'll quiz him. But he's already on to Dallas.
All right, Big Moo wants us to come down to Delray Beach. He says dinner's on him. I'll take you up on that.
I'll have to take you up on that one,
nobody's making fun of Florida. That's where I'm sitting right now in the great state of Florida. All right, let's talk about this game a little bit, Biz, because what adjustments does Fangio do here at halftime, in your opinion? What can he do? Dak has made some incredible off-schedule plays.
Yeah.
Guys are running open. What do you think is the key here from a Fangio perspective? Because it's hard to replace Jalen Carter. Like he was going to be a key component to what you do defensively.
If I'm Vic, Pop, I'm not too worried about Javonte Williams. Okay, if I'm Vic, I'm getting Adoree some help. We can't have Adoree out there on CD one-on-ones. I'm rolling that safeties over. I'm doubling up. I'm helping Adoree Jackson out. I'm not watching him get beat time and time again. That's going to be one of my big adjustments because you saw what Dak did in the first half. So right there. So we can't have Adoree one-on-one. Let's get some help with him. Let's not let CD beat us the second half. That would be my main adjustment. What say you?
Yeah, I mean, I know Adoree got a little banged up there. Who's on the bench? Who can I put in there? What can I come up with to fix it? Lindsay, our producer, is like, hey, remember this season, Hard Knocks in season is the NFC East. It's going to start with raising the banner and spit.
Exactly. Hey, look, they traded for, Jacorian Bennett from Vegas. Let's see if Vic uses him in the second half. Fangio. Because I think this Adoree Jackson experiment might end already. We're about to get rolling too, by the way, Bob.
Yep. Brian T made a good suggestion. No A.J. Brown so far.
Well, there hasn't been any big plays for the Eagles. It's been Jalen's legs, which has really hurt them.
He hit the one big pass at the end of the half. I would think that they'll get him involved. We're underway in the second half. You're 10 seconds ahead of me. We're both watching it on YouTube, but for some reason I'm behind you. I don't know why.
I'm not on YouTube, my friend. I'm not on YouTube.
Oh, you're watching on good old-fashioned cable?
I'm on
you're on DirecTV.
Yes, sir. So the Eagles on a 21-20 lead with the ball. And we'll see let's see, Pop. What do you think? What kind of adjustments do you think he makes here, Eberflus?
To Eberflus?
Yeah.
I don't have much faith in him. There's a lot of Chicago Bears fans laughing right now.
Okay. So, once again, Dallas Carter with his fifth catch of the night. A little roll. So, we'll see.
I mean, that's wide open, that play. So, that's like a running play, right? That's 5 yards right there.
Yeah.
5 yards right there. Hey, I want to remind everybody, Philadelphia might be doing this. They're going to need a corner because I'm not really sure about Adoree Jackson long term. Sometimes when you got to hire somebody, you got to really sift through all the information. You're getting bombarded with resumes. You're not getting qualified candidates. That's why you need ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter finds amazing candidates for you. and they do it in a really special way. They have powerful matching technology that they use that streamlines it. So you get the qualified candidates coming your way right away. And listen, it's really simple. They also have it's called Invite to Apply, which immediately connects these qualified candidates, and it gets it right to you when you're running a business. And now there's a special offer. Because you're watching this show right now, if you're looking to hire people in your place of business, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get quality candidates within the first day. You can try it for free. ZipRecruiter.com/audio, ZipRecruiter.com/AUDIO, ZipRecruiter.com/audio. ZipRecruiter is the smartest way to hire. And I'm thinking that Philadelphia is going to be on ZipRecruiter when they go back on defense looking for a new corner.
Well, Dallas Goedert's involved already on his drive. He's got 2 catches on his drive.
Well, that's what he does. You know, one of the things about Jalen Hurts, he does, we always talk about him being calm. Jalen Hurts looks like even calmer now that he's got a Super Bowl win under his belt. Never looks flustered.
Nah, he's a calm dude, man. He was like that in college too, man. He's just a calm, cool, collected guy. I remember Dable talking to me about him when he had him at Alabama that one year, and he just said, man, everything about him is just cool and calm. The kid never gets rattled.
How about Saquon? Saquon looks to be run. And not that he's never not confident, but I don't know. There's even a more mature level to what's the way Saquon's running tonight.
Yeah, nice gain here.
He's got 61 yards on 11 carries.
Yeah, he's got 61.
And
how about the big boy, AJ? How about AJ Dillon back in the mix, Papa?
Correct. Back number 3.
Yeah.
So you got a little
Shipley. Last year.
Yeah. Yep. Hey, what'd you make about the Giants injury report today where Andrew Thomas didn't practice?
I didn't make any of it because that's what he's been telling us, Stables, that they're going to give him a little bit of a heavy workload and then give him the next day. And today was that next day. Tomorrow he's going to practice again. We'll see where he's at. But the good news for Giants is that Andrew was in pads Wednesday, and it gave him a little bit of an increased workload, and he came out of it feeling very good. So he'll work again tomorrow, and they'll see where he's at. The game injury report, as you know, comes out tomorrow afternoon. What do you expect, Pop? I expect, a questionable. We'll see.
The big Moo loves Barkley, loves the player, hates the team. Well, that's how most Giants fans feel. But, hey, obviously they traded for Kenny Clark, the Cowboys did. It hasn't seemed to, Jerry in his press conference was talking about we got to be able to stop the run.
Yeah.
Hasn't really worked out.
And as you say that, he made his first play of the day. On a counter run, Kenny Clark just had to stop.
Yeah. Well, he had one earlier, too. He had one on Saquon earlier.
Okay. And look, he's a good player, Pop. We know that. Kenny Clark is a good player. He will help them. But as far as curing their ails, like Jerry liked to come out when he came out with the press and said, we haven't stopped the run. And I don't know about, they have a lot of issues there up front. Well, look at their linebackers, Pop. I mean, they got Sanborn from Chicago. Now they got a little pressure here. Here we go. I know I'm a little bit ahead of you. Sorry, Bob. But the first sack of the night by Sam Williams, it looks like. Oh, actually, Martin Nealon. I like this kid Nealon. I like him.
Yes, they finally get to him. And, I give the Cowboys secondary some credit there too, because it looked like Hurts was trying to get that ball out quickly, and there was nothing there.
And Nealon beating the right guard, Steen, who's now in there for Mekhi Becton, who's over with the Chargers. The Eagles going with Steen, who played last year a lot when Becton went down. First, 3rd and long for the Eagles, Pop. And they're going to come up short. And they're going to be forced to punt, brother.
Man, you really are far ahead of me.
Okay, I'll slow it down then. I didn't realize I was that far ahead of you. I don't want to blow you up here. I don't want to ruin it for you.
Yeah, they've been targeting Jahan
Miller.
Dotson a lot. Are you surprised that we haven't seen any
AJ Brown,
anything
huh?
really to AJ Brown?
Yeah. I thought they'd come out targeting him too this half. AJ's gonna be reading that book in about 2 minutes. He's gonna be on the bench breaking that book out. You know that.
They got Jake Elliott in for a long one. How about Jake Elliott? 1 for 7 last year on 50+ yard field goals.
Yep. And it is good.
There you go.
I don't want to put it for you.
Oh my God.
So Jake Elliott kicks a 58-yarder. Eagles have scored in every possession, and it's 24-20. Hey, Dante Fowler, Pop, a guy who played really well for Washington last year. I think he had 11.5 sacks he finished up with for Dan Quinn.
Yeah, I'm anxious to see about that trade-off because they signed Von Miller, who's older. I'll be interested to see if they get out of Von Miller what they got out of Dante Fowler.
Yeah. Fowler, I think he finished 11. He double digits last year. He played well for Washington last year.
All right, so
yeah, look, Brian, no AJ Brown. Yeah, me and Bob were just talking about it. I figured, when AJ is not targeted, he starts putting on the act. I figured he'd be getting targeted in the second half coming out of the locker room, but I don't think he's been targeted one time, Pop, unless I'm forgetting something.
Brian T wants to know, what do you think about Andrew Thomas contract restructuring?
Yeah, I like it. I'm looking for Dex down the line, too. I think Joe Shea is going to have to free up a little more money as we move along. So
I got to be honest with you. You and I have talked about this off the air. I was a little surprised.
Why?
I was a little surprised that they did that only because of his injury history, like as far as kicking the can down the road. They wouldn't be able to get out of his contract until after next season.
Yeah.
But I was a little surprised. Big Moo wants to know if Graham Gano goes down, we don't have depth in that room. There's no depth in that room on any team, Big Moo. Nobody carries 2 kickers.
No, and we have a what's that called, Pop? The European thing there.
Yeah, the international exemption.
The international exemption we have with Jude.
Yeah, Jude McAtumney is on, but there's not one team in the NFL that has 2 kickers on their active roster. So
yeah, nobody's carrying 2 kickers on the active roster. So and Gano's healthy, so I'm not worried about him. Now, I know there was something on X today about Gano showed up with no helmet late. Gano is fine. I see Gano every day. He's fine. So there's nothing to worry about as far as Giants fans with Graham Gano. He's good to go. So, and this is the time of year, everybody, with the media, we only see about 10 minutes. It's individuals stretching, and then they send us back. We don't see much this time of year. What do you think about those rings, Papa, huh?
Those are nice rings, huh? They certainly have gotten bigger. What did Strahan say? He wanted a 5-table ring.
Yeah.
When he was part of the design committee after Super Bowl 42. What do you mean 5 tables? It means you could see it from 5 tables away.
Hey, Papa, you got the Eagles repeating? I mean, there hasn't been a repeat division winner in the NFC East, I think, in about 20 years.
Since the Eagles did it.
Since the Eagles did it when Andy Reid went on a run. You have them repeating this year?
They're my favorite to do it. And listen, I'm not going to be overly alarmed by their defense tonight. First of all, Carter gets kicked out. And we've talked about Adoree Jackson. They're not as strong personnel-wise, but my guess is they'll settle into what they have to do, and Fangio will figure it out. And if they have to go sign somebody, they will. But tell you what, they're not stopping the run all that great either.
No, I mean, they really miss Jalen Carter. Watch this. I mean, look this is what Jalen would be. Watch this right here. Are you seeing the replay right now?
Yeah, I saw it.
I mean,
I saw it live. I didn't need to see the replay.
Tyler Smith.
I saw it live.
He's just blowing 94 off the ball.
Well, they're going to have to
Could be third in a few here. So,
Yeah,
Pop,
I
you
think
got the Eagles. Look, I have them. I have them as the first repeat NFC East champion in 20 years, whatever it is, 21 years. I have Washington right behind them. I just think the
Hey,
Eagles are still. Go ahead.
while we're here on this, what about what are you thinking about tomorrow night? Yeah, a big game, another big division game, standalone game in Brazil, Chargers,
Yeah.
Chiefs. I think the Chiefs have a serious edge on their chip on their shoulder.
Yeah. Well, they did after the last time they got blown out in the Super Bowl, right? They feel they fixed their offensive line, drafted that kid, Simmons. He'll be out there left tackle. Look,
Bond with a nice close there. I know he got the first
Yeah.
down, but I still like the hard hit.
look, I think it's going to be a tough. Like they played two tough games last year, Pop. 17-10 game and a 19-17 game that the Chargers blew at the end. I think it'll be another really tight game tomorrow, neutral field. But like you said, Bob, last time the Chiefs lost the Super Bowl, they came out with a huge chip. I think you're going to see the same starting tomorrow. Oh, baby. Oof.
I don't like the fact that you're this far ahead of me.
I'm sorry. I'm not saying nothing.
Oh, now I know what you're talking about.
That's that kid, Jahad Campbell, their number one pick. Was that Sidney Brown? Nice little collision there. So, Papa, I got the Eagles repeating. I have the Lions. I don't know if you saw my tweet today. I actually have the Lions going all the way now, beating the Eagles in the championship game. But I have the Lions up in the north. I have Tampa in the south. And I have my surprise pick, the Arizona Cardinals in the west.
What is it about the Arizona Cardinals that have you?
I just like the Wolf season. I like what they did in the draft. I like what they did in free agency. I think Marvin Harrison in year 2 is going to take it to another level. Look, an underrated back. I should say an underrated back, but a back that not many people talk about. When you talk about running backs in the NFL, James Conner, who I love. I think their offensive line got better. I like Jonathan Gannon as a head coach. This was a team that was, after like 12 games last year, I was looking at the week-by-week division standings last year. They were right there, and then they folded up. The Rams took over the division at the end of the year. I like them, Pop. I just, you know how this league is. There's always a few surprises every year. I think Arizona. Last year, I was telling you about the Rams. I like the Rams. This year, same division. Arizona's going to be my surprise pick. What say you, Pop?
Here's my one question about that.
Yeah.
When you hit me in the middle of the season and you said, keep your eye out for the Rams, watch out for the Rams, and you kept banging me with the Rams, and I was like, I didn't take you overly seriously.
You doubted me. Yeah, I know.
But I started to see where you were coming from, and I saw what you were selling, and you don't have to do a hard sell for me to see that any team that Matthew Stafford's the quarterback of, they got a chance to make a run. I think the one question I would have for you is we have yet to see Kyler Murray really elevate when he needs to elevate. We saw Baker Mayfield in Cleveland elevate and get the Browns in the postseason. And then we saw what Baker's done with the Tampa Bay Bucks, elevating them. Kyler Murray is like, he's a human highlight film. He's got all these unbelievable attributes. We all know, and I've spoken to some people that shared the locker room with him that were teammates of his that are not big fans of him as a person and as a leader. He's the opposite of Baker Mayfield, the Pied Piper. Now, maybe that's starting to change. I don't know. But like you said, they also swooned last year.
Goodbye.
When they had a chance to win the division. I don't have as much faith as you might have in Kyler Murray taking it to the next level. Look at this.
Former Eagle.
Sanders, the former Eagle.
Watch his power run, Pop. Tyler Smith is all pro at left guard. I mean, And then it looked like Terrence Steele just destroyed Blankenship. Hey, our Cowboy offensive line is good.
Hey, is it me or is Miles Sanders lost a couple steps?
Oh, he's lost.
I mean, he got
steps. Yeah.
chased down by Bond pretty easily.
You know what, Pop? I saw that in Carolina, and I was like, boy, Miles is not the same guy.
Dude, when he was with Philly, that's a touchdown.
That's a touchdown. Yep. I tell you what, brother. If I'm shoddy, man, I'm going back to that play again. Next time they get the ball, I'm going to that play again.
Well, listen, Nick Sirianni, he didn't have his team come out for the banner ceremony.
Yeah. What'd you think about that, by the way? Did you like that, Pop?
Yeah, I did. I had no problem with it because they've been going through the mindset of we're not defending anything now. It's a new season.
Mm-hmm.
And here's why I agree with that. Personal foul.
I mean, just a stupid play by George Pickens.
Yeah, why are you doing that?
Why are you tying him up, winging him down? Not a hold, Pop. Unsportsmanlike. They hit him with a 15-yarder. A personal foul is something they hit him with. Yeah, unsportsmanlike. Huge penalty. Yeah, now it's
these
now
guys
it's
pay
person
attention
22.
in these meetings. When the league sends video and they have the officials sit in your facility in person and tell you that this is going to be an area of emphasis, what are you thinking?
Man, that's a huge penalty. Fangio rushes 3. He's got him. Oh, little on this phone. Zach Bourne is some story, isn't he, Bob? What a story last year with him. All pro.
Oh, that ball's. Hey, you know what that was?
Preseason
game against the Jets. That was Tommy DeVito underthrowing the seam. The ball got intercepted, right? That ball's got to go over.
Same exact play. Yeah.
Good read by the quarterback. That's got to come over the top and give Ferguson a chance.
Yeah, he had Ferguson. He had him. He underthrew him, Dak.
What was I talking about before we switched gears? I don't know. I'll tell you one thing. It really is amazing. The great Will McClay, who is the chief personnel guy for the Cowboys and really the guy that runs their drafts, despite what people want to think about Jerry Jones. Will McClay has been, I mean, when you think about the players that he's drafted, and you look at it from a Giants fan's perspective, all the years not being able to put an offensive line together. And it's not like the Giants under different general managers and different coaching staffs and drafting guys high, how much they missed. Dallas hits on almost every offensive lineman they take high.
Absolutely. Will McClay. We're going to have a 1st and goal coming up for Dallas here.
Oh, Jesus.
That ball's got to be caught. It looks like he got blasted.
What's Blankenship thinking? That's a defenseless receiver blow to the head.
Blankenship's going to get flagged for a blow to
the
head.
So you just drew a penalty, and now you commit one.
Yeah. This is Ferguson again, who should have caught that ball, but then he gets blasted. That ball was coming out before he got blasted.
No, he dropped it.
He dropped it, and then he took a shot to the head. Oof. He might have to come out and go to the tent, Ferguson, after that one.
But what I'm trying to understand in that situation, what are you supposed to do if you're a defensive player?
Yeah.
I mean, the guy, it's not like he launched at him. It's not like he went up and tried to headhunt him.
Yep.
The guy was going like sliding down. How's Blankenship supposed to know in that fraction of a second that Ferguson is going to drop the pass?
Yeah. That's one of those. It's 1st and 10, not 1st and goal, by the way. But that is a fumble. Oh, that's a huge play.
Miles Sanders.
Miles Sanders. Looks like Brian Young, who's in there for Jalen Carter with the FF. And Quinyon Mitchell recovers it. Huge play in the red. Oh, boy. The Cowboys in the high red, and they fumble plus territory. Oh boy, that kind of turns this one around a
Oh,
little bit. Got it.
my man Richie Leibel almost got run over. He runs the Steadicam for
Oh yeah,
NBC's main game. You saw him in the end zone there at the Steadicam.
yeah.
I got to be honest with you. Just think about it. If Miles Sanders didn't lose the speed he once had,
Yeah.
this would all be for naught
Mhm.
because he should have scored on that run. It should have been. We should have never had all these plays, all these penalties. Miles Sanders needed to take that to the house, and he didn't.
Yeah. Boy, that was a that's a turn. That could be the turning point right here.
So do you agree? Do you agree on my doubting of Kyler Murray until proven otherwise?
Listen. I agree with you. I'm not going to argue with that. I just think Kyler will take it to the next level this year. I think he will. And I like.
We had a heated debate today too about Seattle. You're higher on Seattle than I am.
Yeah, you're not. Look, rightfully so. I'm not going to argue this, but you're not high on Sam Darnold. You didn't like the way he finished the year. We know Sam's resume, and you think Sam's not going to be very good for Seattle.
Sam doesn't have the same collection of running backs, nor does he have a tight end as good as the one he just left, and he doesn't have Justin Jefferson. Forget about Addison and the rest of them.
Mm-hmm.
Why would I think that Sam Darnold will be as good as he was last year? Why would you think that is my question?
Oh, I just think he's going to be good enough. I don't think he's going to be Minnesota good. I think he's going to be good enough. I like the Seattle defense. I like Mike McDonald. Hey, there's DeVito on a Progressive commercial. Tommy making Progressive commercials.
Yeah, he's in a bunch of them.
I see Tommy was tasting the Italian life up in New England. Huh? He's at the little Italy feast up there, enjoying life.
Hey, listen,
I just think Seattle.
Hold on. Before you get into your dissertation.
Oh, fancy birthday.
There's a perfect example
of what?
Playing in New York and the value. What other third string quarterback is in any other national TV commercials?
Yeah, well, that's because a couple of years
Show me another guy with 8 career starts that's doing national TV commercials.
Yeah, well, he had his 15 minutes of fame lasted a little while there.
Big Mo. No, I'm not cooking tonight, Big Mo. We'll cook on the next show. All right. So what you were talking about? What, Sam?
Look,
Darnold?
I think Seattle's going to be better than what you think they're going to be. I do not think the 49ers are going to be good. You do. I know you still kind of have belief in them. I don't like the 49ers this year. And who are we missing? And the Rams are a talented team. I had them last year, but I'm just concerned about Matthew Stafford. I'm not quite sure Stafford's going to last the 17 games. To me, it seems like, Bob, one good shot to that back, and it's Jimmy Garoppolo time.
Well, it reminds me too much of a couple of years
Bob,
ago.
Bob, we have a delay here?
The elbow.
Is there lightning?
Yeah, there's a storm approaching. The teams are coming off the field.
Yep.
Hey, it's still this humid time of the year where you get these thunderstorms. Obviously, here in Florida, we get them all the time, usually every day, somewhere around 3 or 4 o'clock. It's coming. And they've got the radar, and they're taking a look at it. So they're going to step off the field, and this night's going to just get later and later. So while we have a second, Biz.
Yeah.
You have a really good social media presence online. I have a good social media presence online. We do so much online banking and all those other things. Well, what you need to know is delete me. It makes it easy, quick, and safe to remove your personal data online when surveillance and data breaches are common, and everybody is vulnerable at this point in time. I mean, you want to protect your privacy. Biz, I know in your former line of work, you know how messed up things can be, and whenever you think you have something solved, there's crooks everywhere trying to get you, right?
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but I used to, you get all these spam emails, you get all these things. Like I have an unpaid parking ticket in the Philippines, evidently I didn't know about. And if I don't pay this right away, I'm facing unbelievable fines and my license is going to be revoked. Never been to the Philippines, but that's another story for another day. And now the phone calls, the spam phone calls, just people trying to, like, you have no idea. So delete me is the right answer. Data brokers can make a profit off your data. It's a commodity. Your data, business data, my data, you out here watching, your data is a commodity. And they can buy and sell your private details. That leads to identity theft, phishing attempts, harassment, name, contact information, your social security number, home address, even information about your family members. It's all compiled by these data brokers, and then they sell it online. New York Times Wirecutter has named Delete Me their top pick for data removal services. Listen, protect yourself. Take control of your data and keep your private life private. Sign up for Delete Me. Now, we got a special offer for you tonight here on the live ManjaCast. Today, you get 20% off your Delete Me plan by texting the word PRO, P-R-O, to this number, 64000. That's how you get 20% off. Text PRO to 64000. That's PRO to 64000. Message and data rates may apply. Check them out at Delete Me. Hey, how do you think this affects everybody, Biz? Little delay here.
As affects, well, now you got to go to the locker room. Now you got to come back out, get warmed up. Does it look? The Eagles just took over the momentum too, right? With that fumble recovery. So we'll see how they come out of the locker room when they get the ball. Where they had the momentum, they would have had the ball. Jalen hasn't been stopped all night, so we'll see if this kind of slows him down a little bit. How about Dak with that tackle, huh?
Tackle.
Nice tackle by Dak.
Now, was he slow getting up? The last thing you want is him getting hurt making a tackle.
I thought stuff like that happens to the Giants.
It might have saved a touchdown.
Yeah, I think Terrence Steele was the last guy between Quinyon Mitchell and the end zone if Dak doesn't make that tackle. So, Pop, what do you think about Sunday's games, brother? What games are you keeping an eye on? What games do you like?
I'm excited for tomorrow night, first of all. And I think maybe the Chargers get a break by not having the home game, simply because if they were playing at SoFi, probably 70% of the crowd would have been Chiefs fans. So it'll be a more neutral site.
No question,
yeah.
I'm sorry, Bob. I don't know this. I didn't look. But did they switch Joe Alt over to the left side, or is he staying on the right tackle? So Pipkins is the right tackle? Is that what they're doing, Pop? Yep. Pipkins right tackle, Alt's playing left. Okay. Sorry about that. I wasn't quite sure if they moved him over. That's what that's where Alt played in Notre Dame. So
ahead, so Pop. You're asking me about some of the other games on Sunday. I mean, what storylines don't you like on Sunday? I mean,
don't I like? Ooh, not many. I like them all, brother.
Listen, it's week one of the season, right?
Yeah.
I mean, this is where you're kind of excited about every game, every matchup, because there's so many interesting things that come along with it. I mean, Cincinnati, you say to yourself, hey, the Bengals, they traditionally start slow. They really need to get off to a fast start. Well, guess what? They don't play well against Cleveland. Joe Burrow is 1-3 in his career at Cleveland, and he got his first win last year. It's a bad matchup. They've sacked him 27 times in the 8 meetings. Yeah. It's a bad matchup for Cincinnati. But they got to get off to a good start. I mean, we've talked so much about, all of their bad starts. I mean, I look at this Jacksonville team and, being down here, and I sit there and I say to myself, okay, you're playing Carolina. I know Carolina played much better in the second half of the year last year. But damn, you're at home here in Duval County, and you've got a new head coach. You've added some new weapons. Like, if you don't get off to a good start, you talk about pressure, because Trevor Lawrence is making 55. Just think about, like, Baker signed this he didn't sign an extension. They guaranteed next year's salary at 30 mil. Like, Baker Mayfield has run circles around Trevor Lawrence, and he's making $25 million a year less. Like, patience is running a little thin here in Jacksonville.
I'm sure it is. This is a big year for Trevor, man. This is a big year for him. I'm sure the patience is real thin down there. Now, Bob, an intriguing team to me because we just don't know. I think it's a team that could be better than a lot of people think if Michael Penix kind of pans out the way they think he's going to be. But right now, I don't know how you feel about this, Bob, but Michael Penix is an unknown to me. But if he plays well, this Atlanta team could be a pretty good team also in the South. But the question to me is Michael Penix. He's unknown to me. We don't know what he's going to do.
Yeah, it's not like in the couple of games he played, he lit the world on fire. His numbers were pedestrian. Yes, he made unbelievable wow throws, but his overall numbers weren't anything like, like you look at Caleb Williams' numbers. I think Caleb Williams gets a bad shake from the media about awful rookie year. He was not that awful.
No. I remember the game against the Giants. Michael Penix had a couple of throws that should have been picked. He was making some bad decisions against the Giants.
Yeah, that was his first start.
It was his first start, and like you said, it was okay. But we'll see in year 2 with him how it pans out, because they're a team that's very intriguing too if they get good quarterback play. So we'll see how Michael Penix does. I mean, the NFC South to me, Bob, is Tampa Bay and then the rest of them. But how about this, Bob? Let's shift over to the North again. What do you have the Bears? Do you have a Bears as a possible surprise wild card?
I think the Bears are going to be very competitive this year. I think Ben Johnson is going in there, and I think he's gonna be pretty good. And I think he's bringing a little bit of that mentality that he came from in Detroit about accountability across the board. They kind of called out Caleb Williams early in training camp, right? So I don't think he's taken any prisoners. Yeah, I think that's going to be a really interesting division. I want to see Jordan Love show me more, right? He had that great 10 games at the end of the year a couple of years ago. Last year was a little flat. Obviously, they've added Micah Parsons. Like to see what they're going to do this year. I think Detroit's still going to be good. And then J.J. McCarthy. I mean, for whatever we think about Penix, and at least he played in some NFL games. J.J. McCarthy is yet to start in an NFL game. And we're going to see him in primetime on Monday Night Football at the aforementioned Chicago Bears. Justin Jefferson was a little banged up. They don't have Addison right out of the gate. I mean, they did strengthen their offensive line. But I'm fascinated by J.J. McCarthy.
So am I. I am so looking forward to Monday night's game, Bob. I am so looking forward to see J.J. McCarthy. I'm so looking forward to see the Chicago Bears and their revamped offensive line. Caleb in year 2. Okay, I'm really looking forward to that game in Chicago. The NFC North has got a couple of them, right? It's Green Bay and Detroit Sunday afternoon, and a real interesting one at 4:00. And then Monday night, you got the Vikes and the Bears. So the league gave us a little NFC North matchups like they did with us over here in the East with the Giants of Washington. And, of course, tonight, Dallas and Philly. But, man, I'm really looking forward to that one, Bob, Monday night. Can't wait to see JJ. I got to be honest with you, Pop. I can't wait to see JJ to see what he looks like.
All right, Sal just gave us a little update because obviously we have the volume off, but the NFL is saying that the weather should clear around 11:15 Eastern time. It's interesting because a lot of you who are watching this know I work on Golf Channel. I've been working with Golf Channel since 2012, and this is par for the course. We deal with rain delays, we deal with storms, we deal with thunder and lightning all the time, but that's during the day. You don't play golf at night. This thing is going to drag on. This is going to drag. And I got to be up early because I got to record the radio pregame show with Dabes, and he likes to do it, let's just say, very early.
Very early? Like 7 o'clock early?
It's slated for 7.
Yeah, I know he's a 7 o'clock guy, right, Dabes?
It's slated for 7. However, as we learned with Coach Coughlin many years ago, they may tell you 7, but they may decide to walk in at 6:50, 6:45, 6:40, and you be ready to go. You better be ready to go. Like, it's not like, oh, no, but you said it was 7. No, you're expected to be ready for the head coach of an NFL team. Dan Reeves, working with him, same thing. Any of the head coaches I've worked with, if they give you a time, you better be ready to go 30 minutes early. So me and Schmelk will be ready by 6:30 a.m. for the 7 o'clock interview with Dable that I guarantee you happens before 7 a.m. Guarantee.
Hey, Pop, a question for you. To satisfy
Hopefully I got an answer.
Yeah, you'll have an answer. To satisfy our Giants followers' appetite a little bit. Year 4. Is there any difference? You've been doing the shows with Dable for 4 years now. Any difference in Dabes this year?
Yeah, I think there's a little bit different, Dable. I think Dable's doing a lot of things differently this year. I think the way he's handled the team, the way he's handled practices, some of the different ideas that he's brought to the table, like we've talked about it on the show. I'm not hiding any secrets, but he would tell us in our TV production meetings this summer before the preseason games, I'm going to do something during the game that I haven't even told my coaches yet. And I haven't told the players yet. I'm going to just pull a fast one on everybody to see how they react and how they handle it. And we saw it against the Jets. Giants were on a drive. All of a sudden, Jackson Dart comes in. He hits Theo Johnson. Johnson takes it and runs for like 20 yards. Jackson Dart's out. Russell Wilson's back in. And they did a lot of that stuff in practice, offensively and defensively. So I think that, hey, look, I think Dable realizes that the results haven't been what, they want it to be, what the organization expects. And listen, unless you're Bill Belichick for all those years in New England, or unless you're Andy Reid, or unless you're Nick Sirianni right now coming off a Super Bowl, or Dan Campbell right now, the teams that win on a consistent basis, all these coaches have in the back of their mind, I better get my butt moving here and get more wins, or else this is going to be not for long. So I think he's kind of taken an approach of, hey, you know what? Maybe I've taken a lot of people's advice, and that's great, but I'm going to do some things differently because I want to do it differently, and because I think that gets my team best prepared. And if it doesn't work, at least I gave it a shot.
Right.
I mean, it's not as drastic as Parcells in '84. Everyone knows the famous story. George Young tried to hire Howard Schnellenberger after Parcells' 3-win rookie year as a head coach in '83. He lost both of his parents that year. It was a tough year for him. And he showed up in '84, and whoever was advising Parcells, it was probably the great Mickey Corcoran, the older gentleman that you would see, who was his basketball coach when he was a kid. And Mickey was around the Giants at Super Bowl 21. I got a chance to know Mickey, Dumont, New Jersey guy. And I don't know if it was Mickey or someone to say, look, if you're going to get replaced, go out doing it your way. And obviously, George Young had a brilliant draft in '84 when they got Carl Banks and so many other top-end players. And obviously they made the playoffs that year, and the rest, as they say, is history.
That it is. That it was, my friend. Any other surprises? Who are you looking at? Any team you say, hey, yo, Biz? I don't think people talk about this team, but I think people should keep an eye on these guys.
I think the AFC South is more wide open than people. Everyone kind of just defaults to Houston.
Mm-hmm.
I think that thing is a little bit more open. I'm not 100% sold. Now, I know they dealt with a lot of stuff last year, and they had a myriad of injuries, and guys were banged up. But who knows what's going on with the running back? I think that maybe a Jacksonville can pick them off, right?
Mm-hmm.
Indianapolis, who knows with Daniel Jones? That remains to be seen. But I think that division, and rightfully so, could be very topsy-turvy. Now, Tennessee, they're going with a rookie quarterback. I'm not sure where we are with that. And listen, the schedule makers didn't do him any favors. I mean, I can't think of a worse place for a number 1 overall draft pick to make his debut than a team that, coming off last year, is literally one of the best defenses in the NFL. And after watching Philly tonight, and obviously without Jalen Carter, but the lack of depth that they have and their secondary issues, it looks like Philly's defense, personnel-wise, is taking a step back. I'm not saying that they're going to be awful this year because I believe in Vic Fangio. But Denver's defense is legit. They just gave Nick Bonito a contract extension today. They're locked down pretty good. That is a tough place for Cam Ward to make his debut.
Oof. I mean, that's going to be loud. They get to the quarterback. They got a top 5 defense. That is quite a challenge for Cam Ward. He's walking into a buzzsaw Sunday afternoon.
And by the way, that's a good offense they got going too. And I think, And I said I was a guest on the Commanders radio network today, the station in D.C., and I said I think that Jaden Daniels will not take a step back this year, and I think Bo Nix will not take a step back, probably step forwards.
Yeah, so quite a challenge.
A little snack there? What do you got? A little Twinkie? You got a little ring ding?
I got a little apple slices. Makes me smarter, if that's possible.
So you're actually the one cooking tonight. You brought the apples. How about them apples?
Yeah, I bought it in ShopRite.
You don't even slice your own apples?
Well, I actually did. This is the time of year, Pop. Are you an apple guy?
Love Macomb and McIntosh. Pick them fresh at Allstead Farm in Jersey. Oh, could eat a zillion of them.
Okay, well, this is the time of year you got an open window. We talk football about open windows on teams, 3-4 years, 2-3 years. Well, this is the open window for Honeycrisp apples, September. Yeah. You get like a 2-week window, tops 3. And I got my first Honeycrisp today. This is not Honeycrisp, but I got my first Honeycrisp today, and it was very, very good. 3-week window tops.
Did you ever go to Allstead Farms in Chester?
No, I go to East
Where
Tremont.
you could pick your own vegetables, you pick your own blueberries, raspberries at whatever time of the year it is, but the apples are to die for.
We've been going to East Tremont over by Colts Neck. Your neck of the woods, guys like you live in those areas, for years. And apple picking and pumpkin and all that stuff. Delicious Orchards. Richie, yes, Rich. Usually I stop at Delicious Orchards after that.
So you drive all the way down to Colts Neck to pick apples when you could just go to Morris County?
Here we go. First off, I'm talking about when I lived on Staten Island. All right.
Okay. All right. No, that's fine.
Okay. Do you remember? I'm not
Staten Island's close. Staten Island is closer to Colts Neck.
Close. Just jump on 34. I'm right in East Tremont Orchards. All right. Do you forget? I'm not a Jersey guy. I am. Okay. So
Rich is saying right next to Due Process. Now I know where it is. Got to play the Due a bunch of times.
And to Bob and Richie, to Bob Popper's credit, he invited me to Due Process. I couldn't make it because of a family function, but I hope to get there. And we also got to get to our boy Bob's place, right, Pop? From the restaurant, Antique Bar and Bakery in Hoboken, our boy Bob's golf course. We got to get there real soon, Bob.
And you got
But
to
anyway,
you got to take your wife to Benito's.
I got to take it there and Antique.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to reach out to Bobby and Joey to say, Joey, can you hold me a parking spot right there in your building? Because I can't come if you don't hold me a parking spot.
Yeah, that's true.
I can't.
But
My Pop,
if you go to
Benito's,
if you go to Benito's,
Benito's were good. No, Benito's were good. Yeah. So, Pop, like I was saying before you started hitting me with the, why are you going there? Right away.
Hold. James O'Keefe, Allstead, when I was living in Chatham, but
Where
also when I was
Allstead?
living in Chatham, Whiteman Farms. The donuts at Whiteman are second to none in Harding.
Really?
And their apple cider. Used to take my kids there pumpkin picking, apple picking. James O'Keefe nailed it in Harding, Whiteman's Farms. The best donuts. They are the best donuts.
Is that where you took the pumpkin pick? Is that where you did your pumpkin picking with the kids when they were young?
Yeah, and then with Max, we went more to Allstead's because we were in the Mendham area. And their donuts are good. You know, it's a bigger kind of production there. The fruits and vegetables, Allstead's is great. But James O'Keefe, if you want donuts and cider, nothing better than Whiteman's. Nothing better.
By the way, I'm a simple guy, as you know. Our next standalone game, you just got to make me a little chicken parm. That's all I'm asking for. I'm a simple guy, as you know.
All right, you know what? Here's what I'm going to do, because obviously when I'm flying up and I stay with my parents for a couple of days, well, I'll make you a little chicken parm. I'll bring it up to the facility. I ain't done.
Oh, okay. I'll take that. Or I'll go to that buffet your parents put out on a Sunday night. That every Sunday last year you would hit me with the, we're having clams and we're having this, we're having shrimp.
We're going to be doing ManjaCast. We're going to be doing ManjaCast from my parents' place in Jersey.
Oh, Mr. and Mrs. Papa, you better tell them I'm coming down, because after what you hit me with last year on Sunday night after the Giant games, holy shit.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Listen, getting back to football here. The Big Moo. Score prediction for Giants on Sunday. I don't predict scores, Big Mo. I have no idea. But I think that the Giants will score in the 20s. They scored in the 20s twice last year. Or no. Actually, they only scored 18 in the first meeting because they had to go for 2 on every play because Gano got hurt on the opening kickoff that didn't even count because there was a penalty on Washington on Eckler's kickoff return.
Yeah.
I got some questions about Washington defensively. I got to be honest with you.
What's your questions? Out of curiosity, what are you questioning on Washington's defense?
They don't stop the run very well. I mean, they were ranked 30th against the run. The Giants
gave up a lot of yards.
7th. They gave up 137 yards a game on the ground.
Yeah, I thought it was $140. Okay, but 137. Wow.
Yeah, I don't think that their defense is. I think their defense was opportunistic last year. Mm-hmm. We'll see what Von Miller has left in the tank, because you see Dante Fowler tonight playing for the Cowboys. I don't know if that trade-off at this point in their careers is a wash. We'll see what the health of Lattimore is. They drafted the corner. At some point, Bobby Wagner is going to slow down. Like, it happens. He's been playing at a Pro Bowl level, and Banks, if you watch our Giants TV show, The Dable Show on NBC4 New York, and then it airs on MSG, Banks did a film breakdown on Bobby Wagner, part of the show. It is amazing the amount of film study he must do and his knowledge of formations and what the probabilities are of what each offense is going to run. You got to see on the snap of the ball is being snapped.
It reacts.
And he's already moving in the right direction.
Already reacting.
He almost never takes a false first step.
Amazing.
His first step and his read off formation, motion. Like, there's one play where they motion, and I guarantee you most middle backers in the NFL would have at least leaned. Bobby Wagner immediately went the other way of the motion, and that's exactly where the play went. It's like he knew they were running it.
That dude studies film. That guy. First ballot Hall of Famer, Bobby Wagner.
Jeff
And
Hirschbaum wants to know, is Scatterboo playing Sunday?
oh, absolutely, Jeff. He's playing. And I expect to see him involved, Jeff. I expect to see him involved.
You
But
and I
yeah,
had
he's
this.
playing.
You and I had this little debate. You think
Debate? What do we debate?
a little conversation? You think there'll be a package for Jackson Dart, or is he strictly
Yes,
the
sir.
backup quarterback?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I think you will see Jackson Dart. I said it on the podcast, on the Giant Insider podcast last night when we were fortunate enough to be joined by Paul Schwartz of the New York Post. And I said it to Paul, and I'll say it to you, my friend. I think you're going to see 3 or 4 plays with Jackson Dart in there. It could be structured runs, but I think you're going to see something with Jackson Dart. Pop, I think Dable's going to throw.
Who did I have? You know, I do too many podcasts and I do too many radio shows because I had this conversation with somebody else and they were shocked. Oh, it was with Schmelk on BBK, Big Blue Kickoff. Mm-hmm. The day that we were on the air live, the day that the depth chart came out, and Dart was listed as number 2, and some fans were calling into the show. And John completely dismissed it. And I said, not so fast, my friend, doing my Lee Corso again. I didn't have the pencil, but I said, I don't think so. I think Dable might be willing to use him.
Also, Schmelk said no, he doesn't think he's just going to be
the because it came out and all the beat writers.
I think
we were literally on the air when the press release went out, the weekly release.
Right,
so, of course, everybody went to the depth chart.
Sure.
Which I found interesting that they listed the offense and defense as base offense, base defense. But
there's a few interesting things with that unofficial depth chart. That was one of them. And then, of course, Flott and Banks as the 2 starting corners. Flott or Banks. At this time of year, you usually don't see that on depth charts. But Papa, I think they're going to use. I think Dable's going to throw all the book at Washington Sunday. I think you're going to see all different things. I think you will see Dart. I think you're going to see Scatterbo more. I shouldn't say more. I think you're going to see Scatterbo a lot. Watch for Jackson Dart. Are you with me on this? I think he's going to be in there a few plays. I definitely do. All
right, the rain is now pouring down.
Well, they come on. We're going to bring
Taylor,
it out. I mean, lightning's the only reason that this is
correct.
I don't give a crap about the rain. If the lightning clears, let's go.
Well, the NFL is going to give an update in 4 minutes, 11 o'clock. So they were kind of near the overhang because they're live right now on NBC. Chris Sims, Maria Taylor, McCourty, and Jason Garrett. And I think all of a sudden the rain intensified as they were live on the air. Now you can see the wind is blowing. They took a step in, but once they're clear of the lightning, once the radar, just like at a golf course, once that radar clears, unlike at a golf course where if it was raining like this, you would stay inside and order another beer, football can be played in the rain. So if there's no lightning, they're going to get these guys out there. They're not waiting for the rain to stop. No. They're waiting for the lightning to be cleared because just like in a golf tournament, it's not just about the players. It's the volunteers, it's the spectators, right. It's the rules officials, it's the maintenance staff, it's everybody that's out there. Mm-hmm. Well, they're clearing all this, not just for the players, but, there's 65,000 people sitting in seats with metal all around them. So you got to get everybody out of the way. But once that lightning clears, they're going back out, whether it's raining or not.
Yep. Yeah, I'm getting that storm myself because it's pouring. It's raining pretty hard by me now.
Yeah, well, you're in Pennsylvania, so.
Yeah, well, according to you, yeah. And here's the radar. That'll be clearing up soon. 11 o'clock, we'll get this party rolling about 11:20 or so. The second half.
Rich Savner said he was driving on his way down to Maryland, said nasty rain, drove through it. A lot of that heat lightning, which we get down here in Florida all the time.
Oh, I can imagine you.
Last week, my son's practice, we were on the field. We got called off the field twice because of the lightning, and then we never even rained, and then we went back out there once it cleared.
Is it still raining once a day down there with you? Is still that rain, heavy rain?
It hasn't the last 2 days, which is like the first time in probably a month it hasn't rained at least once. All right, Biz. Oh, Sal Fada's saying Melissa Starks just did a food update.
We got to get in touch with Melissa. She
They
sounds
brought
like
some cold cuts to Diggs. He was
She
hungry.
sounds like Manja material, Melissa.
Yeah, we got to get Erin Andrews on.
Oh yeah, that's right.
She would be fun.
Yeah, that is they just showed Jalen Carter's idiotic stunt. And
it'd be interesting to hear. I won't be able to hear it because I'll be announcing it, but it'll be interesting to see what Brady's take is on Fox this weekend with Russell Wilson and the Giants offensively.
Yeah.
All right, Biz.
Jalen Hurts is like a damn fast linebacker out there running around. Hey, we haven't had a chance to see the old Philly tush push yet tonight.
Although they did it after the fumble recovery. You know how the defense celebrates? They lined up in the tush push.
As
their celebration, which was pretty good.
But the Eagles have not had the opportunity yet for the tush push.
It's because the Cowboys haven't been able to stop them. They haven't been close to a 3rd and 1.
I know. How embarrassing is that?
Bob Savner wants to know what my top 3 calls are that I'm most proud of.
Go ahead, Pop.
Well,
can I name two of them?
Go ahead, name
Tell
two.
Me if I'm right. The Victor Cruz.
99-yard run, yeah.
Jason Sehorn.
That was a good one because I nailed it.
You nailed it. And the one in the Super Bowl.
No, it's the Odell catch.
Oh, the Odell catch. I got 2
I'll
out of 3.
tell you why.
Okay.
If you listen to my call, I got it all on the first. I got it all
that you did
right out of the gate.
Could I tell you though, and we'll see if Richie agrees with me. We've talked about this, me and you, before, but I still think your most impressive call was that Jason Sehorn interception against the Eagles, because where many people they weren't quite sure if he had the interception. Like you came like at the way you just like you knew Sehorn picked it up on his feet and gone. I have that as your top. I think I have that.
Yeah, but if you listen to my Odell catch call, I nailed everything, including the touchdown and the flag. If you listen to TV, they weren't sure. If you listen to Cowboys radio's call, they weren't sure. And Westwood One wasn't sure. I actually nailed the catch, got both feet in, touchdown, and there's a flag as it happened.
Yeah.
All right, Rich. You want to know the story behind the Tyree thing? Why he goes wide open, Tyree. Which, by the way, Kevin Gilbride, in a segment we did in one of Don Sperling's great Giants podcasts, looking back at the 10-year anniversary, did say that Tyree was open. So here's what happened. So where they put the home and visiting radio, you're not near midfield. We were probably on the goal line, and the play was going away from us on that famous last drive. So I'm kind of watching everything from behind, and I had a brain fart. I'm not lying on this. I mean, I'm not making an excuse. But when the play started, and I'm watching Plaxico going down the left side, I see Amani Toomer, and I see Tyree running up the middle of the field. And as Kevin Gilbride, when he went back and he looked at the coach's tape, Tyree was wide open. The Patriots completely blew the coverage on the play. And I see him, because now remember, I'm watching from behind, and I see Tyree wide open. But then the whole fiasco starts with Eli and his 5 offensive linemen choosing not to block anybody. And Eli avoiding the sack, and the referee, Mike Carey, almost blew the whistle, but he just let it for that beat. And then Eli heaves it down the middle of the field. So the brain fart comes in, because when Eli heaved it down the middle of the field, at that point in time, Tyree was not wide open. But I had it stored in my head because I saw him wide open. And Gilbride on this podcast said, when he went back and looked at the play, he goes, we had the Patriots absolutely befuddled on that look we gave him, because we hadn't given him that look.
Right.
And they blew the coverage on Tyree. He was down the middle of the field. But I've brain farted because I had seen him wide open, but that was like 3 seconds ago. And now he wasn't wide open. So, Sal, I'll give you that. I kind of messed it up.
It's like, I think Richie said too, like, with the Seahorn interception, they thought it was just a breakup. They just thought it was a PD. And you picked up on it so fast, Pop, that Jason had that ball, had that pick. And I don't remember the exact words. It's like, he's running down the sideline. And TV didn't really have it at first. The TV wasn't sure if Seahorn picked it off, but you could see when you listen to you in the radio call, how confident you knew, like, Jason picked that off,
My longtime boss at the Giants, Don Sperling, his favorite one is the Ron Dixon kickoff return for a touchdown against the Eagles in 2000.
Yeah, look, that was a great one. No question about it.
Can I tell you something?
Because you elevate as Ron was going, as Ron was clean, and you could see Ron was going to go. Like, you just picked it up. You saw it too, that he was going, and you just rose with the emotion as he was going. But look, I thought your Odell call was great. Like you said, like even Collinsworth that he was like, did he catch that? Oh my God, you got to be kidding me.
Well, Al Michaels wasn't sure either. Nobody Michaels
wasn't sure. Nobody was sure. You picked up on it like you did with the Seahorn. By the way, they just put up a sign, something about 11:30 or so, where they weren't sure on the TV booth, but you were sure with Jason when he came up with that. That's why look, the Victor Cruz, a couple of different reasons. It turned this Giants season. But once again, when you saw Victor, when he broke Eric Spitz's tackle, and Victor was gone, and your emotion, and you could just hear it in your voice as you saw him, obviously from the booth in the clear, that he was going. I thought that was a great call too, man. And just like
the Tynes kick was pretty emotional. There's been a lot of them. I've been doing it since 1995. It's my most memorable game, though, is still the if you watch the Cowboys documentary, when Jerry Jones walks onto the field at Giants Stadium on Phil Simms' jersey retirement night, and that was the whole Phil Knight thing and everything. That was my first game. And the Giants got blown out 35-0. But the coolest part was it was the old TV booth in Giants Stadium, which was, as good a seat as you could possibly have. I had my dad standing next to me for that entire game because my parents grew up in the Bronx, and Dad's a big Giants fan, and it was like this journey to get this job, and then to have my dad stand there with me for my first ever call the entire game, like right by my side. Nice. That was kind of neat. That was kind of neat. So they're going to start at 11:30. I guess they'll go out and warm up at 11:15. So this game is going to get resumed. Listen, we're going to step aside here. This has been a lot of fun. Yep. Chopping it up with you guys, talking about the different games around the NFL. We didn't even touch upon the Bills and the Ravens. I'm worried about the Bills defensively a little bit right now. They had another injury this week. I don't know how they're going to be able to deal with. I mean, that could be a shootout as well. Baltimore's defense is a little bit better. I'm fascinated with Aaron Rodgers going back to MetLife to play against the Jets, and the guy who started the season for the Steelers is now the starting quarterback for the Jets, and losing Elijah Vera Tucker is bad for the Jets.
What a devastating blow that was. What a shame.
Now, you want to answer here? Why don't you answer Rich's question? Nah, not going to do it.
What? Rich, I've been out of that deal for a long, long time, buddy.
Yeah, there's not a lot of happy thoughts with that kind of stuff. I could sit back and talk about games and stuff like that. This came from a whole different. Put it this way: I work in I call games, and sports is the toy department of life. Biz did not come from the toy department of life.
All I'll ever comment about, Rich, is stuff I'll put on X, like me and Carl Banks. As you know, Rich, you've been following me a while. Me and Carl are friends, and there was a thing somebody put on. I think Big Blue VCR, who does a great job, put a thing on about Banks, old special in '91, and Carl went back to his old neighborhood or something, and he was talking to a lot of inner city kids, about doing the right thing, going to school and using sports to get the hell out of the neighborhoods they grew up in. And I'll make a comment here and there about that because, Rich, I've been in those neighborhoods. And every kid deserves a chance, brother. And I'll always say that. So if I ever talk about anything, it'll be along those lines. I don't get into anything else. I'm out of that thing a long time, bro. And look, I think Papa mentioned me. Could I write a book? Probably. Yeah, I probably could. Between this media world and the old world and Brooklyn days, but that's not my style. But thank you, though, for the question, Rich. I don't get into that stuff. That's not my world. So, Papa, I think we're about to roll. But listen, Bob, you got to get going. Listen, a standalone game. We'll pick one out next week. You got to make your little thing for me. I want a little chicken palm. I'm a simple dude. A little chicken palm.
Well, listen, it's going to be whatever my mom decides to make. And then I'm going to cook with her.
Oh, okay. Whatever your mom wants to make.
When we do a Thursday night and I'm back home, I'll make it a chicken parm.
Okay,
but
so what we'll do,
my mom takes it to another level.
And folks, what we're going to do is me and Bob are going to do, we're going to have guests on during these games. We're going to have guests on, man.
I'm telling you, listen, Lindsay, save this clip. I'm calling out Lige Duzabal because he's going to be great. He's great on Sirius. He's great doing college football. He's great on the NFL stuff. He's got a great personality. He knows the league backwards and forwards, and he's an amazing cook. I've never eaten his food, but I see the stuff that he posts on the internet. We definitely want Lige on this show.
I listen to Lige when he's on with Papa and the Sirius XM airing it out, NFL radio. And Lige brings it. Lige's prepared. He brings it. He's I've texted Papa while Papa's on the air with him saying this dude knows his shit. So I'm looking forward to having Lige on with us. So it's going to be great.
All right, thanks for everyone for joining us for this live edition of the Manja Cast. We want to thank the good people at FanDuel for all of their support. And even though I don't have my chin glass, you can go buy a chin glass at the Believe shop. Just go to the Believe shop and get yourself a Manja Cast chin. But I got a sparkling water right now. Chin, my friend. We'll do it again. And hey, your podcast is on Believe Network. You want to check out Biz and Jerry Foley. Banks and I just recorded one earlier today that dropped, previewing the game. Some awesome X's and O's stuff from Banks. He and Dable did a film breakdown as part of our TV show too. Knee deep in knowledge. And then the last episode we did earlier this week, Phil Simms goes through almost all the quarterbacks in the NFL. We talked some Giants. We talked some Commanders. Phil told some unbelievable stories, as he always does. But he gave breakdowns on almost all the starting quarterbacks in the NFL. It's part of the Believe Podcast Network. Believe in Giants. Go check it out. So, Lindsay, thanks for staying with us and doing your job as always. You are the best. Thanks to our fans. Subscribe, like us, do all that stuff. Get your Delete Me. If you do have a business, check out ZipRecruiter. And Biz, have a great night, my man.
Yeah, enjoy the rest of the game, brother. Are you staying up or what are you doing? I guess you're going to watch the rest of it, right?
Yeah, I kind of have to because I got to talk about it on Sirius tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern with Matt Sims. Here they come. Okay. Back to the field we go.
All right, so I will be texting you during this game what's going on. So enjoy the rest of your night, Papa. Enjoy the rest of the game. Chin, my friend. Talk to you soon.